I'm going to read the adventure of Huckleberry Finn, chapter 20. So enjoyable. The actors considerable manipulation until knows what we cover out of the not that way of world. Read by daytime instead of lunch, Jim or Lawrence and girls. Finish checks. But a runaway nearest run south. They only allowed the children and hired the kind of things done. Somewhere. So I said, my folks was living in Stupid country, in misery, and where I was born. They all died off but me, and the par, and my brother like the par, and here to break up, go down and do this Uncle Ben, which got a little one forward, placed on the river, 44 miles below the Orleans. Our pretty poor had some debts, and so when I had spared up, there were nothing else but about $16 than our near gin. That wasn't enough to take us to 1,400 miles deck passage, nor no other way. Well, when the river rose and the fall had us streak of luck, one day he catches the piece of the left. So we reckoned we just go down to Stonehenge. After left didn't fall out. The steamboat ran over for the corner of the left one night, and we all went aboard and dove under the wheel, and Jim and me come up all right, but I was drunk, and when I was 4 years old, and so it never come up no more to us for the next day, or till we had a considerable trouble, and because people was always coming out in the street and trying to take him away from me, saying they believe it was a lot of near. We don't run. Daytime's normal now. Night they don't bother us. The Duke says, let me alone to sit first out of the way so we can run in the daytime if we want to. I think the thing over a plan that'll fix it is we'll let it alone for today. Of course, we don't want to go by that time's $1,000,000 daylight. It might be helpful. Toward the night it began to darken up and looked like rain. The heat of lodging was squirting around to slow down in the sky, and the leaf was beginning to shiver. It was going to be pretty ugly, still was easy to see that. So the Duke and then the Kings went to stop Hollins, that was the wigwam. This is what the bed was like. My bed was first thick and Jim. It was a thick, and there's always the pop around about in a sharp thick, and then pop in your heart. When you roll over the dry and the sharks and sound like you was rolling over in a pile of dead leaves, it makes such a rustling that you wake up, while the Duke allowed us to take my bed. The King allowed Hilton, she says, I should not reckon the difference in length. I would suggest to you that I construct the bed one just 15 for me to sleep on you. And you rest out, take the trunk to bed out yourself. Jim and me thought this in a sweat again for a minute, being afraid there was going to be some more quarrel amongst them. So it was pretty glad that when the Duke says, it's not me to be always drowned into the mire and the guidance to his or oppression. Misfortune has broken my own haunted spirit. Here, assume it, and it is my fate, alone in the world, so let me suffer that can bear it. A little ways as soon as it was good and dark, and the King told us to stand well out for the middle of the river. Now show light. If we go for long ways and blow the tongue, and then we come inside of the little bunch of lights by and by. There's towns, you know, and so we ride about half a mile out or right. Mine was 3/4 of a mile and below, and we pushed up our signature lantern, and about 10 o'clock it's come on to rain and blow and thunder, and always like everything. So the King told us to both stay on watchy till the weather got better than him and the Duke crawled into the wigwam and turned. And for the night, it was my watch below still forever. But I will not turn. In any ways, if I had a bat because of the body, don't see such a storm as they every day in the week, as I'm not by a long sight myself. So our wind it extreme storms, and every second or two, and there's some you could have that lit up in the white caps for half a mile, and you see the islands looking dusty through the rain, and the trees flapping down in the wind. Then comes a whack, bum bum, bum bum, bum 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 bum, and thunders to go rumbling away, and the street, and then it comes and flashing and others. Soft dog leather, and the waves must wash me out a lot sometimes, but I haven't, and it goes on, and didn't mind. We have no further about the snake and the low things was growing and the filtering and around the stuff. But and we could see them to find soon enough to throw her head. So that and missteps. I had a little watch, and you noticed, but I was pretty sleepy by the time, so James decided he would send the first half of it, and for me, it was always my good that way Kim was. According to the we went, and the King and then Duke, and they had their breaks and full run, so it was no show for me, so I let up. I didn't mind the lanes, because it was warm, and waves once laying so high now, and about 2 they come again, though Jim was going to call me, but he changed his mind because he like we weren't high enough to yet to do any harm. He was mistaken about that. So pretty soon, all of a sudden, along comes a regular lifter pushing overboard, and it must kill Jim. So like it was decent to that. There was anyways. I had to watch, and Jim had let out and snowed away. By and by, the storm for good and all, and the first Cape night, the short I lost him out, and we three left into high quarters for the day. The king out on all the last back of the car. After the first stand, Jim and then Duke played 7 up and White 5 cents again, and then they got tired of it and allowed they would lay out campaign. They called it Dukes went down since the car fit back and fetched up a lot of little printed books and read them out loud as the one be said. So we conduct the lectures of first, the lectures of science of knowledge at such a place on the blank day of blank at 10 cents admission. Furnish charged out characters 25 cents a piece, the Duke said, and it was him. Another really strict was a renowned Shakespeare's president, and Garrick, the younger of the juries, the day in London. In other fields, he had a lot of other names and done other wonderful things like finding water and go, with his diving, wow, disaffection, witch spells, and so on, by and by, she asked. But historic music is that only. Have you ever heard about the Western literature? Now, says the king, you should end the first year of 3 days of August, the following adventurers, as the Duke, the first to go trying to come to hires now. And for the fine in literature 3 and the balcony scene in Romeo and Juliet, how does that strike out? I mean, you start to the top, and for anything is that will pay and the pretty word, but you see, I don't know nothing about playing it, and I have seen so much of it. I was too small and the puppy used to have on that playlist. And do you like them so you can learn me? Easy. Oh yeah, I'm just a prison. The something fresh anyways, and was convinced right away. So the Duke told him all about who Romeo was and who Juliet was. But he was used to being so Romeo, so the king couldn't be Juliet. But if the Juliet such as the young girl Duke met the few hands my water was thirsty, going as a look uncommon, so or maybe. Oh, don't worry, these countries safe, I won't ever think of that. Besides, you know, you've been in costume, and that makes all the difference in the world. Juliet's in a balcony during the moonlight before she goes to bed, and she got on her nightgown, a lot of night have, and here the costume for the pots. As he got out to and read the curtains color shoot, which is static, was medieval, almost literally, and then the others trapped and the long white cotton nightshirt and ruffled nightcap to match. The king was satisfied, so the dukes got out his book and read as to Pasha in the most splendid but eager way, and the French around was acting at the same time to show how it had got to be done. Then he gave the book to the king and told him to get his fort by heart. There was a little one-horse town about 3 miles down the bend. After dinner, the Duke said he had a seafood out in ideas about how to run in daylight without it being dangerous for Jim. So he allowed this to go down into the town and fix the thing the king allowed us to go to. See it, he couldn't strike something, so it was out of the copy. So Jim said, I better go along with them in the canoe in the sound. When we got there, one restoring a 3-step and perfectly that and still like to Sunday. So kind of the niggers sunning himself in the backyard, and he said, everybody, one too young or too sick or too old was gone to meetings about to manage the bag in the wood and the kings, the goat and the directions and the flower, and here is the go and the work and the camp, the meeting before there was works, and then I'm office go to the Duke. So it always was greetings the office phone and there's the bit and concerns about from carpenters shop. Carpenters and printers all gone to the meeting, no doors locked, it was dirty, littered up the place, and then some more, and had a bit with picture of those lonely niggers on them all over the world. And the Duke sat his coat and said it was all right now. So me, the king, got out before the camp meeting. We got there in about half an hour. Very we were the most awful cut. There was as much as 1,000 people with from 20 miles around. The woods were full of teams and wagons. Each day we raced and getting out of the wagons through and then stopping to keep off the fires. There were shutters made out of the poles, and we looked over the branches that when there's had a lemonade and gingerbread cell and 5 stove watermelons and green cone and such like turk. The future was going on under the same kinds of shelters, only they were bigger and had this crowd of people. The vegetable was made outside this slabs of logs, with the holes and boards in the long side to drive the sticks into 4 legs. They didn't have no backs. The preachers had the high platforms to stand on at one end of the shed. The women had on some bonnets, and some had lenses with bark, some in hamster ones, and then a few of the young ones had on a calico. Some of the young men was barefooted, and some of the children did not have on any clothes, but just town-in shirt, and some of the old women was knitting, and some of the young folks was coating on the sky. The first shot we come to the preachers was laying out of hymns. If you line out to lines, everybody sang it. And it was kind of grand to hear it, and there were many of them, they done it in such a loud way. Then he lined out and for them to sing and so on. So the people will come more and more, and the song louder and louder toward the end. Some began to groan, and some began to shout, and then the preachers began to preach it, and they began in earnest to the waving, and first to one side of the platform and then the other. And then leaning down over the front of it with his arms and his body going over the time. And shouting his words out with all his might, and every now and then he would hold up his Bible, spread it open, and kind of pass it around this way. And then shouting the virgin serpent, no violence look upon its leaf. And people would shout out and glory, man. So he went on, the people screaming and crying, saying, this comes from the church. Come, walk with him, and come sick and sore, and come lame and hard, and blind, and poor, needy, drunk, and chained. Come all that's one, sorrow and sufferings, come with the broken spirit. Come with the contrite heart, come in your legs, and sin and dirt, and the worst and the He's 3 years old, having fence open, and entering into the left department store hallelujah. And so once you couldn't make out what the preacher said anymore. On account of the shouting and crying, and the folks got up everywhere in the crowd and walked away just by means ranks the more strange with chairs lying down to their space. All the mourners had got up their front to benches, and the crowd they sung and shouted and flung themselves down on the shores and just crazy and wild. Well, the first I know the king, and they got going, and you could hear him of everybody went next, and he went on charging up onto the platform. The preachers they begged him to speak to the people around it. The whole land was a pilot, and being a pilot for 30 years out in the Indian Ocean, and the crew was out of considerable loss, screaming at the fight, and it was home now to take out some freshmen. And thanks to goodness that he had been a loveless night and then put ashore of a steamboat and without a sand. He was rid of it, and it was restless the thing, and it would happen to him because he was a changed man now, met for the first time in his life. For poor as he was, and he was going to store like work his way back to the Indian Ocean, and but in the rest of his life, and trying to turn the pirates into the true path, what he could do better than anybody else. Being acquainted with all pirate crew in the ocean, and though it would take him a long time to get there without money, he would get there anyway. So every time he convinced the pirate, he would say to him, "Don't you thank me, and don't you give me no credit. It all belongs to them. Here's people in pork and beer, camping meat, and natural borrow, and manufacture of relation. And the deer is the preacher stairs, and the priest when the pirates have had." And then he burst into tears, and so did everybody. If somebody sings out and take up a collection for him, he kept a collection, or half a dozen made a jump to it. Somebody sings out, "Well, let him pass the hat down," and then everybody said it, the preacher too. But the king went all through the crowd with his hat swiping his eyes and blessing the people, praising them and thanking them for being so good to the poor. Palace away up there, every really wild, prettiest kind of the ghost with tears running down their cheeks would ask him would he let them kiss to him to remember him by. He always done it, and some of them hugged and kissed it as many as 5 or 6 times. He was invited to stay a week, and then everyone wanted him to live in their house, so then they would think it was honor. I said, as this was the last day of the camp meeting, he couldn't do no good, and besides, he was in a sweat to get in the Indian Ocean right off, go work on pirates. When he got back to the lab, and he comes out, and he found that he had collected $7.25, and then he had passed away 13-gallon jug of whiskey too. He found under the wagon when he was starting. And through the wood and king salad, they did all on. Later over, and today he had ever screened the missionaries line. He said he wants no use talking and hating and don't amount stuck and alongside the spotters to work, and I can't meet him with. Liu was thinking he'd been doing pretty well till the kings come to show up, but after that he didn't think so much. He had to set up and print off and 2 little jobs and farmers in the office and hold fees and took the money. $4. He had to go in $10 worth of advertisements for the papers which he found. He would put in for $4 if they would be paying advance. So they done it. The price of the paper was $2 a year. But he took in 3 subscription for $0.50 the fee of the condition of them paying him. And advance they were going to Spain, cold wood. And the audience as usual, the party said he had just bought new constant and knocked down the price that the Roses could afford it, and was going to run it for cash. But after a little pistol for twist which he made himself out of his own head, the broad and kind of sweet, and then the words, the crushes, cold water, unless the breaking heart. And that's all set up and ready to print in the paper. And in charge, nothing for it. So well, he took in $9.50, and that is the down of 3 square days of work for it. Then he showed us another little joke. He pointed and hadn't charged for because it was sports. It had a picture of a runaway nearest with a bundle of sticks over his shoulder and $200 reward under it. The ring was all about Jim, and just described to him to Dot wanted Jim. He said it's the runaways from St. Jack plantation. We managed New Orleans last year. I like it went north, and whoever would catch him, send him back. They could have the river and fences. Now, fairly good. Outright. We can run in daytime if we want to. Whenever we see anybody coming, we can tie Jim and put with a log and lay him in the wigwam and show this the and this then says that we captured him up the river and worked for travel symbol. So we got this little left on credits from our friend going down to that door. Handcuffs, chains, would look still better on Jim, and everything go well. What is the story of us doing so cool? We much like a jewelry, loaf, other collecting. We must preserve the image, as we say on the board. All Santa Dukes was pretty smart. They couldn't be notorious about running the time. We could make mice enough that the night get out of the reach of the phones, like on the Dukes were in the thinking of what we're going to make in that little time. Then we could boom right on if we want to. If we want to. Later, when Cap's citizen never showed out till nearest the 10 o'clock, then we should ride 3 wide away from the town and did hoist our lanterns to who was clear out of sight of it. When Jim called me to take the watches at 4 in the morning, says, "Oh, do you reckon Jim and like host and making some dispute?" "No," I says, "I like a lot." "Well," says, "it's just like don't mind or 2 kings and that 3 of these things in powerful drink. And they are much better." I found Jim had been trying to get him to talk French. I could hear what it was like. He said he had been in this country so long, and so much he's traveled for it.